Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday night already. I don't know how that happened. It's been kind of a crazy week over here. Lots of cold, I was going to say snow, but it hasn't been a lot of snow, but we've had 2 snow days now. AJ's always home on Tuesdays, but then he was home today from school. And so we had a play date with one of his little friends, Kimber. He loves her. And so we had a little play date today with her and her mom, and then went to lunch. And so that was really cute. And so anyways, I have been leading up to talking about personal development, and I just wanted to kind of give you guys more so recommendations of things that I have read and like what are different types, why should we do personal development, when, how, all of those good things. And so anyways, I'm going to write it up as a blog also for you, so you guys will have all of the suggestions that I have, and, that way you can look it up. There's always going to be an option to, I'll kind of let you know which ones I think that you should read over, listen to, and all those kinds of things. So anyways, the reasoning for personal development is simply, if you look at anybody who's done anything really, really, really great in their life, they do a lot of personal development, right? So it's very, very, very crucial to have your mind right, because there are so many things that can get your mind out of believing or being positive, or whatever the case is. Maybe you're like on the grind, and you're doing really well, or you're doing really, really well in your job, but you're not happy. Like, if you think about it, think of how many people, work super duper 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 hard, but they don't have time to spend with their kids, or how many people, do spend a lot of their time with their kids, but they're just not happy. It's, it's an all around, again, it's just part of the lifestyle. It's part of, you have to work at it. You have to work to be better every single day. And so, that's a huge thing for me, that in the beginning of my journey, if you will, I kind of, was like, I don't really have to do that. I eat really well. I exercise, that gets my mind right. And, and it's absolutely not true. And so once I started realizing that personal development is almost probably like the most important step in creating greatness for yourself, everything started to change for me. So first and foremost, I want to start by saying I was always kind of one of those people that just was like, I'm just not a reader. And by saying I'm just not a reader, I meant basically that, well, I just hadn't really read since high school. So in high school, I didn't like to read. So like for most of my adult life up until recently, I just was like, no, I'm just not a reader. So even when I did start to do personal development, I was like listening to podcasts. And so, hi, Danielle. I miss you. Just talking about personal development and why it's so important. So anyways, I would listen to podcasts, and at the time when I started with Beachbody, I was still working at the dental office, and so it was really kind of my only time to have quiet time for myself, right? And so I had podcasts downloaded, and I would listen to those. It was about a half an hour each way, and so I would listen to podcasts on my way to work, or like on the weekends, it would be on the weekend when Chad would be home, would be like the one time of the week that I actually had time to like completely shower and get ready. And so I would listen to podcasts in the bathroom, and I would take a long time to get ready. Like, it doesn't take me very long to get ready, clearly. This is I can't really quite get a perfect bun down, so I do a messy bun, which people seem to like. But anyways, the point is that, I was struggling to find time to do personal development. So it was really helpful to just have podcasts downloaded that I could throw on when I was in the car, or on the weekends. I would like splurge and do a few different episodes of podcasts while I was getting ready. Chad actually bought me one of those little like pill or whatever it's called for the shower speaker. So I want to start by telling you, and again, I'm going to put this into a blog for you guys so you'll have all of these recommendations. There's many, many, many different things, and I'll try to make this, as quick as I can, so we're not sitting on here forever. But for podcasts, these are the ones that I really, really highly suggest. The Chalene Show is my absolute favorite. Chalene Johnson, she's just uber successful, in many different areas, and often has other great people that are on her podcast talking about tons of different things. I learned a lot about furthering my nutrition. Of course, I'm huge into nutrition, so I have taken many courses, and with my dental background, and have met with so many nutritionists, and just on all of my research, she always provides a lot of information on those, intermittent fasting and different things like that. I intermittent fast a lot of the time. Usually, I work out fasted, and I only eat within a certain period of hours during the day and stuff like that. But anyways, the Chalene Show is definitely one of my favorites. And so if you are like, well, I just don't have time to sit down and read, then download podcasts. Like, if you have an iPhone, it's already on there. It's on there. You don't even have to download the app. The next one that I really enjoy, and I haven't done it recently, and I would like to try to remember to do it at least once or twice a week, it's called The Road Back to You, and it lines up with it's called an Enneagram test, and basically it's another different type of personality test, but it was the first one that really, really, all those personality tests do always seem to strike home a little bit, but this one was really crazy. And so The Road Back to You has different podcasts based on what your Enneagram number is, right? So you find out what your number is, and then you listen to the ones that are specifically made for you, and it's people that have the same number as you that do the podcast, and it's really, really, really cool. And then, you could even have your spouse do it. And then you could listen to podcasts that align with what your spouse's number, and it's pretty powerful stuff. Achieve Your Goals is another really great podcast. It's Hal Elrod. Just super, super, super uplifting. Really, these are all things that are just going to make you feel good. Just being in the car, especially people that if you're in the DC area, or people back home that drive the Beltline and think that the Beltline is so terrible, you have no idea. Come out to Virginia and sit in traffic one day, even on a Sunday. If you're on any of the 95s, you'll never complain about the Beltline again. But download that podcast app and listen to something that's going to uplift you for the day. So many people are just wrecked. Just ruined. They're just ruined already. The second they get in their car, before they even get into traffic or in a traffic jam or get stuck or are late for work, it's brutal for a lot of people, right? So download the podcast. Try that out. Trust and Believe by Shaun T. Shaun T is also just super duper inspiring. Different stories from different people that have overcome lots of different obstacles and stuff like that. So podcasts are huge. And then the other thing is, hey girl, hey Steph, Audible. So again, I was not a reader when I started doing personal development. So I started with podcasts, and then people were like, well, you can also get Audible. Audible is really cool because you download the book, and I think it must be because I'm a Prime member that I get Audible for free, because all of a sudden I'll just get a thing saying oh, you have 5 credits, make sure to use your credits. So Audible's another great one where you can just kind of throw it on in the car, and there's everything. Every type of book that you could imagine that you could read is also on Audible. So these have been my favorite so far. The Power of I Am, it's Joel Osteen, just super powerful stuff. Whether or not, whatever your beliefs are, I'm not going to go deeply into that, but just hearing his voice and just everything, all kinds of personal development and, things that are going to talk about growth. There's just no way that you can listen to it and be like, oh yeah, this is BS. Basically, you're always going to get so much out of it. So The Power of I Am is very, very, very powerful. Another one is Eat That Frog, just talking about look, you have to start here. You have to start here to move forward. Girl Code is another one that I want to I have it on my, I just purchased that one, and then Mastering Your Mean Girl. It's just, again, like being fearless in your pursuit. One of my favorite quotes is, be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. And so, you know, those are all types of books that I tend to want to read or listen to. These are going to be things that I think that you must read. These books in particular have really changed my life, and specifically The Miracle Morning. If you don't, you can get it on Audible, but anybody that I have ever recommended, like, to just get the book, because I'm not kidding you, I had my highlighter out and I highlighted. I had the whole entire book just, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Oh my gosh. Because for me, when I started my journey and, you know, really digging into myself and moving forward and getting better every day, is, you know, I decided one day that I was going to wake up at 5:30 and work out at 5:30 in the morning. And so that's what I started doing. Once I started reading The Miracle Morning and just realizing, like, again, how important personal development is, and just feeding your mind and soul with all of this goodness, it's very important to me now that the very, very, very first thing that I do, you know, I have my workout clothes set out, I get dressed, I come downstairs, I sit down over here on the couch, Brutus comes down with me, he meditates with me, it's super funny, but we do the guided meditation, and then I do work out, and then if I still have time when AJ is still sleeping, then I take the other steps, which it's savers, so it's silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. So every day I don't get all of those things done the very, very first part of my day, but I do. So the silence for me is guided meditation, and that's actually also like personal development for me. I do it twice a day. I do it right away when I get up, and I do it when I go to bed, and it's just so powerful for me. And I guess while I'm meditating, you know, the things, it's always about a 10 or 11 minute guided meditation, and then at the end of it, it's like 2 minutes of it will just kind of go over whatever the topic for the day is. And so I'm not really huge into just like journaling about my life or, you know, whatever. I just don't quite get into that at this point. But what I do really, really like to write about and journal about every morning is about my meditation. So there's always, like I've told you guys on the Calm app that I use, there's different topics of meditations that you can do, or there's just the guided meditation, like the meditation of the day. And I've just been doing that recently for like the last number of months. And it's really crazy how in tune these daily meditations are to what's going on in my life. Like if something happens one day, the very next day, it's like that meditation talks to that scenario. And so it's super powerful. So I have a Miracle Morning journal, and you just, like, every week it has you write down your top 3 goals for the week, and then it has this quote for each day. And then, you know, like when I was having a really hard time over the winter, I fell off. And so you can tell, like, okay, I didn't do my meditation for a couple of weeks, and that was brutal. I realized how much I really, really needed just that time. And those kinds of things, you know, in the beginning I was like, meditation, I don't know. Or like the first time I tried to do the meditation, it's like, I can't do that. My mind's all over the place. Well, again, it's the mindset and the intention that I had. I went into it thinking like, I'm not going to be able to do this. There's no way. Like, I'm too busy. My head, I can't slow down. And, you know, then once you do a couple of them and it walks you through it, you know, it's like, okay, if something comes into your mind, accept it and then like let it go. So anyways, the Miracle Morning, huge. The journal, you know, you don't have to get it, but for me, I really like to have the daily. It's only a couple of lines, so that's another thing, is there's not a ton of room to write, like if you want to actually journal. But what I like is, like, I think 3 months and 6 months in, for sure 6 months, because I just was at my 6-month mark, which was because I took some time off. But that was a couple of days ago. It has you like evaluate, you know, it's like, okay, how did you do the first 6 months? You know, what can you do for the next part of the year, you know, those kinds of things. And so the next book that and I'm still reading this other one, but it's the 12-week year. And the 12-week year is also super powerful because it tells you, rather than, you'll always hear me talk about how like New Year's resolutions, they don't really work because it's like somebody just will say like, oh, I'm going to quit smoking, or oh, I'm going to, you know, whatever. And sometimes that happens, but like, you should have big goals. Like, you should have something, you know, that's scary and, you know, that you really want to accomplish, but you really have to have action steps of how you're going to make these things happen. So the 12-week year is really great because it talks about, don't make that just the year goal. Like, you think about all of the businesses out there, or like accounting or whatever the case is, that they're on a, you know, an annualized plan. You know, the last couple of days of the year is when they just really, 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 really buckle down, right? It's like when all of their numbers are the highest, and like, why not do that throughout the year? Like, why wait and stress yourself out, or like wait until you have this deadline, where the 12-week year is, you know, you just break it down into, you know, into weeks or months or whatever the case is. You break down your goals and you set new goals all of the time, rather than just having this big goal that all of a sudden becomes, you know, impossible to hit because you haven't worked on it throughout the year. You put it off, you think you're going to get closer to hitting it, and, you know, whatever. So it all does really, really, really make sense. So those are the books that I would suggest that you actually read. I do enjoy reading. I just don't have a ton of time to read right now. And so that's kind of, you know, Audible's been really great. Another thing is, if you don't listen to Gary Vee, it's Gary Vaynerchuk. He's amazing. Like, if you want to do some great things in your life, you need some Gary Vee. Like, YouTube it, do whatever, look up Gary Vee. It's real talk. It is real business. It is no BS. That's where it's at. Like, that is where it's at. Tony Robbins, obviously. TED Talks I haven't really got into yet, but I know that a lot of people talk about TED Talks being super powerful also. There's just so many great options out there. Another one is Gabrielle Bernstein. I've been reading her stuff. So right now I have on Audible, The Universe Has Your Back, and she's got a number of different books out there. Spirit Junkie, May Cause Miracles, Miracles Now. There's a bunch of different ones. So again, those are going to be kind of more obviously like girl power, you know, go after your dreams. And again, be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. That's like my quote. That's my thing for the year. But it's important. So whatever way that you can find to just get some goodness into your mind, for a lot of people, it might be different. For a lot of people, you know, music or dancing or, you know, yoga or whatever it is. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you read or listen to, like, in terms of a book. But I will tell you that it's definitely, you know, again, one of those things that has just made a humongous difference in my life. Like, I've always been a happy person, but I certainly for a long, long time was also, you know, pretty on edge, if you will, or like easily irritated. And, you know, I'm just not. Like, I'm in a much better place overall. And it's by putting everything together. So for me, it's food, and it's, you know, taking care of my body and working out and doing the meditation, and, you know, it's you build and build and build and build, and it's slow steps. Like, I'm in a journey just like everybody else, and I'm not perfect. I've been eating for the last couple of days these healthy M&Ms. Like, I have been going crazy on these healthy M&Ms, and I cannot stop eating them. I wish the bag would be done. I think I just keep being like, okay, it's almost gone. All right. But I'm also working out hard. I'm lifting really heavy right now. And, you know, anyways, I just wanted to share that part because I know a lot of people think like I'm super perfect with, you know, my routine, and I'm not. It's all about balance and whatnot. So anyways, again, I will write all of this up, give you guys, if you have like specific things. Here's another thing is the personal development that you do is always going to change. Like, again, like by like the 12-week year, the Miracle Morning, like things change in your life daily, right? So your course can go off course, your expectations can, can dwindle or go astray, or whatever. Like, things happen all of the time. And so with that, what you're gonna choose to listen to or read, or fill your mind and soul with goodness, that's gonna change like what the actual personal development is. So let me know if you have specific things that you are looking to focus on in your life, and hopefully I can help you with that. So anyways, happy Wednesday. Hope it warms up for everybody. I know it's like yucky in Wisconsin too. It was super duper cold here. I mean, it was like 24, but it was very windy and bleh, I hate it. Yuck, 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 yuck. So anyways, have a really good night. Get some personal development in. Let me know what it is. Let me know if you need help with that. And I will talk to you guys soon.